Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Silver Lantern Archives. Today, we are changing things up a little bit. Once this campaign was Hellfire Descent, but due to some other issues, some things are changing up, and we are having a bit of a time skip, and the story is on the move. This campaign will now be known as the Dark Curse and the End of Resurrection. Last time we saw our party, they were still in Baldur's Gate doing their best to figure out what was going on with the Van Thamper family. The investigation was going slow and they weren't making much in way of headway, especially with the strangeness of what was going on in the city around them, with what they believed to be their ally Kenjiro going missing during a looks like a
Rooftop
fight
race.
on the rooftop. Nobody's entirely sure what went on, and then they received a letter stating that somebody was going underground. Not long after that letter was sent, things continued to get stranger and stranger within the city. More and more disappearances, the Flaming Fist was really starting to fall apart, and during that time, another message was sent to the party. It was in a very strange writing and just kind of appeared on the bed of Seosa. This letter indicated that something was going to go wrong within the city and they needed to leave that day. Unfortunately, knowing this party, they weren't the quickest on the uptake, though they did spend the beginning of the morning and into early afternoon attempting to recall what allies they could. During this time, however, is when everything within the city went wrong. Some kind of magical circle was drawn around the city, and devils started to pour in through the sewers, coming up and attacking anyone that they could get their hands on. Within the hour, the entire city was in an uproar, and the party knew that they had to do something. So they got what allies they could and attempted to put up a defense. However, it became very blatantly obvious there was nothing that could be done with this party after Tortufu took a massive blow from a devil that cracked his front carapace, taking him completely out of the fight, as it was a nasty fight. Now, the party was in a state where they had to go into a full retreat, dragging their massively heavy friend. So they attempted to fall back as best they could, falling back towards the city. It wasn't long before they were waylaid again by another group of devils where they were pushed into a life or death situation. Mempash was seriously injured, as was Wren. It was at this time something very interesting happened with two of the other party members, Seosa and Valtari. Both of them started to put off massive waves of magical energy. Seosa's eyes turned a startling red, while Valtari's became a cool, shining blue. It seems that individuals far stronger than them had pushed their way into their body as an attempt to keep them alive. Mr. Red and the god known as Agam. These two stepped forward and made a barrier that would allow the others to make it out of the city. However, three of those members of that party were already severely injured, meaning they were having to rely on the civilians around them to pull them out of the city. It was at this point Dio took it upon himself and charged into the fight, taking his God's word as his gospel, and he was here for a reason, and he was going to fight for it. Nobody's entirely sure what happened to him after Dio ran into the city, attempting to get as many people out as he could, as the party did not see him again. However, as the power of those that were surging through Seoza and Valtari left them, pushing the devils further and further back, this left both of these two exhausted. The civilians were having trouble pulling the adventurers away, especially with the heavy weight of Tortufu, and some of them were starting to flee, unable to save the adventurers that saved them, but some noble souls did their best. But it was not those civilians that saved this group. The party had recently done something that had released what some of them considered to be a great danger. But it seems that great danger seemed to have felt that it owed something to this party. As the Medusa known as Silphara appeared within the city and was able to magically teleport the group out. So what remains of the party, still barely conscious and watching, were able to watch as Baldur's Gate fell, like El Terrell before it, as it was dragged into the hells. They still to this day can hear those screams of so many civilians and heroes and everyone that was lost when the city fell, echoing within their minds. It's not something you easily forget. But they manage to escape with the assistance of what they believed to be an enemy. It wasn't long after the fall of Baldur's Gate that the party began to splinter. The exhausted Valtari and Seoza were worried for their child, Nellie, and soon split off in an effort to find them, leaving their injured companions in the hands of those that escaped, as a way to try to let them recover. The word is, at least as far as those that remained were able to find out later, that they managed to get onto the other side of the city, where they found Nellie, Tristan, and Kenjiro, and have since moved to the north, as in those days while they were gone, things took a turn for the worst, as more and more devils poured out of the hole left behind in Elturel, now Baldur's Gate. The Sword Coast became a very, very dangerous place. So those that were injured were pulled away from the fighting as the Sword Coast fell. More and more went wrong, and it wasn't long before that entire region was gone. They say they're still fighting up near what's left of Waterdeep, but El Terrell, Baldur's Gate, Candlekeep, and everything in there has become a death zone, as devils are now able to travel freely from Avernus to the mortal planes. People are still fighting, and they are doing their best to save those that were trapped within the devil's regions, the new area that has been taken over by the devils. A line has been drawn in the earth as what is now known as the smoke line came into effect. The line in which the devil-ruled area, which is covered with this red sun and is coated in ash, a very deadly place. Things are now struggling to grow in that area, and devils run amok, kidnapping whoever they can find and dragging them into the hells to fight in the blood wars. Those that remain try to keep the line as best they could, but they have lost a lot of ground. In the year since Baldur's Gate fell, a lot of party members have disappeared, and nobody's entirely sure what's going on up in the north. But eventually, the injured Mempash and Tortufu, alongside Wren, started to recover and took the time to really start to grow. Down in the south, near a city called Crimor, it took them quite a lot of time to fully regain what they had lost during the fall. But in that year since, they've had a couple different jobs, gone on a few adventures, still listening for any word for those allies that they lost. After the year that has passed since Baldur's Gate's fall, we now join that group back in the city of Crimor as they get a message drawing them towards the Twin Towers, as it seems someone has a job for them. We are going to rejoin Tortufu, Mempash, and Wren.
We've been in this city for a long ass time, right? So
Not
would we have
specifically this city. You were here initially. It's where you've been training. You've had some jobs where you've been moving around, but you are just being called back. You just recently arrived in Crimor, and you're supposed to go north to the Twin Towers.
Okay, I was just wondering if we had like a permanent residence or something.
Not at this point. Nobody has a permanent residence, as everything is packed to the brim with refugees, as the Cloud Peaks is where the smoke line has been laid. Right across the Cloud Peaks and into the Snakewood is the southernmost line, as people do their best to hold. Anyone that makes it through the Cloud Peaks, escaping where the devils rule, start to hold out in Crimor. So you wouldn't have, there's not enough room for everybody to have their own place.
So we would probably be either if there was room when we got there in the tavern, or camping in wherever we can, right?
Mm-hmm. You're no longer in the city at the moment, though. You're heading up towards Twin Towers.
Okay.
So the three of you are on the road.
I like to think I will be riding. I will be riding pickles, just relaxing.
Alrighty. Mempash, Wren.
Yeah, that'd probably be like this point. Well, my Drake is called Daisy. Daisy and I'd be casually strutting as usual, sort of in the middle.
Then I guess that would leave me in the back.
I mean, you could ride. Like,
I think
Wait,
the
how big
Hydra is
are
big
you?
enough to hold me and Ren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll help on the Hydra. Why not?
Is there any other thing that three of you talking about as you are heading back up to the smoke line? This is the first time you've been called back to the fight. You've been out of it doing all kinds of things down in the south, but you haven't been past the Cloud Peaks since you were rescued after the events up in Baldur's Gate.
You
So,
guys
again,
ready?
what did you?
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. What did you say? Like, what? This was the first time we're back, right?
This is the first time you're heading back up towards the smoke line since the fall of Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
You guys ready for what we might see up here?
I'm gonna be real
I don't.
honest. Sorry, go ahead.
Don't, you first.
I'm going to be real honest. Not really.
Wait, I agree. And like, look over, and I'm sort of like got somewhat of a 1,000-yard stare sort of going on. I thought I was ready to fight the demons, but I failed. I wasn't ready.
Well,
Hopefully,
since-
it's better this time.
Tortufu kind of idly scratches at the. I'm assuming it's healed over now, but there's a Probably a big old scar on his chest where that blow took him down.
Oh yeah, because it wasn't oh, this is a light hit. You're effectively, if you were human, you broke your all of the ribs in your rib cage. You got messed up. It took you months of healing to get back up.
So this is definitely a big old noticeable mark.
Oh,
So he
yeah.
just kind of rubs at it. Oh, I don't think any of us were ready for it. We'll remember it. But we've gotten stronger since.
Learn some new things.
Hmm?
Learn some new things. Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit.
They were agreeing with you that they've learned some new things since.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yes. As I'm sort of like clutching my holy stick, you know, not as like, but like I'm
Your
panic or
mic's,
anxiety is slowly been.
your mic's breaking up. Try again.
I gotta turn
Oh.
these up.
I was saying like as we move towards the line, like I start like grasping my holy symbol, and it's like more of an anxious, like anxiety is setting in. Like I'm trying not to freak out by holding this, but it's not working.
Yeah, Wren has been furiously playing with their hair, just trying to keep the hands busy. There hasn't been anything on the road yet. DM?
No, it's all been quiet.
Too quiet.
You know.
So is this a just like a normal path? Is it just like flatland woods, or what's it look like around
You're
us?
just south of the mountains.
Okay.
Oh, Cece, would it have been okay to say I would have found a magic bag for 100 gold? I completely forgot about that.
Not recently.
No,
Those
dang.
have been in rather serious demand with people going through.
Got it. Tortufu will just reach into his normal bag then and pull out an apple and just eat the whole thing, just whole. He eats when he's nervous.
Yeah,
Also,
I was
he's
gonna
happy.
ask for a fight.
Hmm?
Ren was gonna ask for a fight, but then she decided against it.
There wasn't a fight left, but he will. If you ask him, he will pull out. He'll give you another one.
Oh yeah, Ren will take it. You got nibble at it.
And I'll toss one of Pickle's heads a cabbage as well.
They immediately snap it out of the air, rather happy to have the food, but they're just chilling, having fun as they can. But it's not long before those riding along see they are catching up to somebody else that seems to be heading towards the Twin Towers. They seem to be a good distance, but you can see it seems to be what looks like a solitary individual.
Ren will look to her shoulder and reach into her hair, fish around a little bit, take out Pip, and you mind checking that out for us?
Are y'all gonna stop? Because I think y'all's mounts are quicker than Pip. By a lot.
I mean, if we don't mind stopping, I can have Pip do a little snoop.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he still counts as a familiar, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I will take Pip, probably if there's like a tree nearby, I'll put him up in the tree and I'll send him forward.
They scurry off along the branch as Pickle and Daisy stop watching what is going on around them. Is there anything going on between the three of you as Pip rushes forward, off to see who it is in the far?
Well, Wren will kind of slump back a little bit, eyes rolling back in the inside of her head as she goes into Pip's view. So she's currently blind and deaf right now.
Do note you will lose track of that pretty quick, as that only goes out 100 feet.
Okay, I didn't know exactly how far.
I believe.
I will watch as long as I can.
You see Pip is scurrying along the branches on their way forward. Let me double check find familiar. Pretty sure it's 100 feet. So 100 feet or a mile. I don't remember which.
I think it's 100 feet.
Yeah, it's 100 feet. So Pip is off to find what it is to see. Anything from the three of you?
Oh, how long have we been on the road?
Since leaving Crimor, it's been. Come on, computer, don't be too stupid. The path between Crimmer and the towers, it's only about a day, so you only left Crimmer last night, as you weren't in Crimmer too terribly long, and you know you're not too far off from the towers now.
Well, Tortufu's gonna slide off Pickles, grab his hammer off the holster, which I assume we have I have a saddle for him or something, or some kind of
By this point, yeah.
harness, some kind of harness where I can put stuff, and grab my hammer and just stand next to him, kind of leaning on it a little bit. I'll call out to Ollie I recognize them looking to the eyes of the familiar. Any idea who it is?
You'll see an ear flick, but no response.
It is at this point Pip has exited your range as they are rushing through the bushes.
Wren will come to again, and what was that?
Any idea who it is?
Not yet, too far.
Hmm.
But Pip is going.
They are getting closer to us, right? They're not just standing in the middle of the road.
They're walking the same direction you are.
Oh, they're walking like towards the tower.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You're just moving faster because you're on mounts. They're walking. Or at least you were before you stopped.
Nothing yet.
Might as well keep going. I'll walk alongside Pickles. Ren, you can just stay up there. If something goes down, I'll at least be ready to go.
I'll hang back a little bit.
I can still feel things. You can give me a little touch if you need me.
All right, Pickles, let's head going. Let's get going.
Pickles currently had their head in your bag looking for more cabbage.
Hey, it's not lunchtime yet. I kind of like shoo him away from my bag.
They snap at you.
No, bad Pickles. I kind of like bop him on the nose.
The other one gets in the bag. They have more heads than one. But it's while y'all are on the move. It's not long before Pip is heard by Wren on their way back as you feel the connection solidify again.
What did you see?
You see an image of what looks to be a lizard folk walking some distance ahead.
Wren will hold on an arm, have Pip climb back on, scuttle back into her very long mess of hair, and it was a lizard folk, alone.
You see they were armed. It looked like a short sword and a bow, along with a quiver of arrows, and they were smoking.
I mean, he seemed pretty content. Not really. I mean, maybe not aware of his surroundings. He seemed fine to me.
Huh.
Armed, but not dangerous. At
Lizard
least not
folk
yet.
just... I used to know a lizard guy back on my old ship.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, his name was Gizzo.
Well, wouldn't it be a coincidence if this was Gizzo? But what are the odds of that?
I'd say pretty low. I'm pretty sure everyone on that ship is dead. Although he was a pretty damn good swimmer, so
Tortufu,
maybe.
y'all are seeing this guy better. And you can see as you're talking, that lizard up there sneezes.
Bless you.
Out of character, would it be crazy for Tortufu to think there's only one lizard I've ever heard sneeze like that?
No, it's more of the when somebody talks about you, you sneeze.
I look at the wizard and I say, kind of suspiciously, he also smoked like a chimney and drank just anything cheap.
He was smoking.
Gizzo, you hear somebody? You don't hear somebody, but you get the distinct feeling somebody is talking shit about you somewhere.
I think if I had ears, they would be burning. And he looks around.
As you look around, Tortufu, you can see the lizard has stopped and is now kind of looking around. A little bit of a huff. As Gizzo, you turn around and you see there is a hydra coming up behind you. 3 heads just bobbing along. There's also
that is not something you'll see every day.
There's also what looks to be an angry circle next to it. It's in the distance, so you're not quite sure what's going on over there. But there is an angry circle. It's the only way you can describe it. And what looks like some kind of rider next to them. Probably on a horse or something. They're still a ways off behind you, but they seem to be coming towards you.
Am I able to narrow my eyes and try and have a better look?
You can, but they're still a good distance off. But can you give me a perception check? Okay, I need to fix your sheet.
Yeah, it says it's on public, so I don't know why it rolled privately.
Because I have it set to everything whispers. I fixed it. So that is a 19. And as you're looking, you recognize the one that thought was a horse. It's actually probably a large drake of some kind. It looks rather big, so that's probably going to be a problem. That's still definitely a hydra, and there's something large sitting on the back of it. But what draws your attention is the angry circle. Because you've seen a lot in your years as an adventurer, and before that, a sailor. But throughout all of that, you've only seen a simple shape like that be super angry once. And last time you saw him, he was passed out on the side of the ship while the ship was sinking.
Oh, hold on a minute. I do not know my shapes very well, but I recognize that shape anywhere. Hey! I'm gonna call out loudly into the distance. Try and get the attention of the circle.
Do I hear it?
You are getting yelled at by this lizard man in the distance. They haven't said anything other than
Tartufo responds with a, yeah?
You on the big snake-looking thing. Are you a turtle?
You mean did you say on the snake or on the snake-looking thing or next to the snake-looking thing? Because I'm
the
walking
circle's next to it.
Oh, yeah, next to it then. I apologize.
Yeah. What about it?
Holy shit! Is that you, Tortufu?
Gizzo?
Oh, you son of a bitch! I thought you died on the ship when it sank. He's gonna start like waddling over. He's got a very like bow-legged gait.
It takes
I
a few
thought
minutes
you died.
for the two parties to get all the way over to each other now that everything's going on. Wren, you feel Pip just post up on the top of your head, hiding in your hair.
I think he's safe.
As I'm walking toward him, I just say, "Damn, I would have thought that all that smoking would have killed you at this point."
I thought your head would have been crushed already. Always taking so many hits to the face.
Can I get a description from Gizzo, Tortufu, Mempash, and Wren?
Alright, so Gizzo is a tall but slender lizard folk. The spines on top of his head are slicked back and it looks almost like a mullet. He's wearing a trapper hat and he's got a pipe in his mouth and a cigarette. But he's wearing a stained bathrobe and a white singlet. I posted in the artwork if anybody wants a better look of him.
Still wearing that ratty old bathrobe.
Hey, I've been told robes are worn by only those most regal and of the fanciness, and I found this, and it's clearly labeled a robe, so now I am too fancy.
Oh, I missed you, you crazy lizard! And Tortufu pulls him into a big old bone crusher of a hug.
Oh, you too, my friend. It has been such a long time. What have you been up to? You look so much bigger. I didn't think it was possible to get even more round.
And he
Yep.
can get bigger.
Oh yeah, I get a lot bigger now.
Oh, I cannot wait to see. You must show me as soon as we are in very crowded space.
Can't wait for that.
What
And
are you doing here, though?
Head to that place. And I point over to the big two towers.
No way, that is also where I am going. We must get drink.
Fine, but none of that cheap runoff that you always buy.
Hey, the only way to stay rich is to not spend money.
It's also
Oh,
how you
please.
burn a hole in your stomach.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I am Gizzo, and he does like a very awkward, not very well executed bow toward Wren and Mempash.
A quick question about Gizzo. Is he wearing a wig under his hat? Because lizard folk don't generally have hair.
Yeah, no, it's meant to be the spines, just the AI thing kept giving him hair.
Okay, I was confused. I'm just like, is he wearing a wig? Because he absolutely feels like a guy who would wear a wig. Because he can.
A wig made of
I mean,
lop.
I did toy with the idea of like the hat came with the hair still attached to it when he scalped it or somebody, but I thought that was a little bit
Yeah, it's a bit much. Continuing on. That was directed at Mempash and Wren.
Mempash, you want to go?
Oh, I'll just they know each other.
What was that?
Oh, I mean,
Sorry.
You were
Okay,
really
that's
breaking up. I didn't catch any.
Oh, I sort of blanked out on that last second. Sorry. I was just going to whisper to Wren. I guess they know each other.
I guess so.
Gizzo did
We
just
should-
introduce themselves to y'all.
Oh,
Um.
well, I am Mempash, and as you walk up, you'll see a dragonborn almost as tall as, same size as Tortufu, but fairly slender. Scales. I'll put the picture in the thing in a second, but yeah, blue and white scales. You know, friendly smile, very friendly face.
My cold-blooded brother. Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure, sir.
And Wren is about standing a foot over both of them, 7'5", Firbolg, cream-colored fur with a splotch of white, lamb, like long, fluffy lamb ears on the either side of the head. extremely long red hair that goes. Looks like she could about sit on it. The tail that comes down with a red tuft on the end. She has currently a kind of like a travel dress on, corset around the waist, various vials and different knickknacks hanging all around her. She's a little awkward on her feet, but she'll look over. How tall is Gizzo?
Excellent question. Let me double check. I know he's like tall-ish, because lizard folk tend to be of that medium. I didn't write any of that down. I think he's like 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, so Wren will reach out a hand to shake yours.
Oh, pleasure to meet you. You're not reptilian, but I don't hold it against you. It's okay. Not everyone can be perfect.
Oh, I apologize.
But those guys cannot help how we are born.
Don't listen to him. He thinks reptiles are better than everybody.
I mean, reptiles have their quirks too. But nice to meet you. You know Tortufu.
Yes, we used to sail on the same boat, but tragically sank and pretty sure all lives lost at sea. Apparently, apart from us, probably because we know how to swim.
I more float than swim, but yeah. And don't worry, Gizzo. They know I was a pirate, so you'll have to. Then you weren't.
Oh, I don't think there's anything wrong with being pirate. It is honest profession.
So you are headed to the towers too?
Oh yes, promise of work. Need to fill pockets.
Well, I suppose there's no harm in you traveling with us now.
Oh yes, more is merrier. I can tell you old tales of Tortufu before he had his sea legs on boat. He used to spin around a lot on his shell. Sometimes, while he sleep, I would polish it so he slip extra fast.
That was you.
Of course it was me.
I always thought I just slipped in oil or something.
Oh, you did.
Tortufu, it's at this point, as y'all are continuing on, you're coming into range to really see the towers, and you're starting to remember just what was going on when y'all last came through here. The pain of your broken front, the worry of your allies, the absence of Seoza, Valtari, Nelly, not knowing where a lot of them were at the time, and just knowing how little of what had gone on and how little you could do during the time. And at the end of the day, how little people made it out of Baldur's Gate when y'all tried to flee. The group y'all made was originally about 100 people. Only about 10 of y'all made it out.
Tartufo just gets like this somber look at his face. He was so excited to see one of his crewmates still alive and well, but now he's remembering what's going on here, and he kind of just stops and stares at the towers. Hey Gizzo, how much you know about what happened around here?
Honestly, not a lot. I only just got back here recently.
You know about the outbreak of devils, right?
I'm guessing Gizzard would know about that, yes?
Oh yeah, most of the south side of the Sword Coast has been completely taken over, and the devils are gaining ground.
Yes, yes. It's quite tragic news. Not good at all.
Mm. We were all at ground zero for that.
Whoa. Ugh. You can see he's like, we would pull on his shirt collar if he was wearing a shirt.
He pull on his robe.
Not a pleasant experience, I imagine.
No, not pleasant at all. This is one of the
But-
first times we've been back in this way in about a year.
Well, remember what I used to always say. We drink to forget.
And you forgot pretty easily especially when you used to ask for the drink what came off the runoff tray.
Hey, it's mix of flavor. You get like best of both worlds. Sometimes it is mostly beer, sometimes it is mostly vomit. It is all good.
It's as y'all are continuing to talk and really getting to the foot of the towers. Gizza, you see something that makes you happy. You think you see another reptilian. There seems to be a
could this
reptilian
be?
woman just in front of the tower. It looks like they're talking to a guard. The one next to them isn't as reptilian. But, Meg, can I get a description of your back?
Yes, I am currently, you will see what looks like a 4 foot tall woman, the back of which their hair seems to be put in almost a bun, but that bun is made entirely of snakes. Um, that just seem to be chilling. They seem very content. Um, and
Save for
you
one,
will see
who is upside down and trying to lick the individual next to you.
that one's always a troublemaker. Um, you will see that there are two short swords at her hip and a longbow on her back. She seems to be wearing almost this white flowy dress.
Look, my brothers, it is another one. Oh, there's so many of us. A truly good day.
Will you be approaching? Team Lizard
Oh, yes.
plus Wren.
I mean, just out of game, out of character. Like we would know that. I mean, looking at the picture, Meg looks like a Medusa. Am I correct?
Oh yeah, they are.
Okay.
It's not the same Medusa as this one's significantly shorter. I actually have artwork
Yeah.
of the Medusa you know if you would like to see it.
You're thinking what I'm thinking, I think. Yes.
That is your savior, the one who got you out of Baldur's Gate, Silphara.
I'm much more green.
Tortufu will look at this Medusa and look back to Mempash. You don't think they're related to the one who saved us, do you?
It's a possibility, but I'm definitely not going to look directly at this one until we start talking to it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna look at my feet.
Yep.
Gizmo goes forward, but you see he pushes his eyes like sideways, so he's like looking,
Cross-eyed.
yeah, cross-eyed. I was trying to remember it.
So
Hello.
So Meg and Pothos, y'all hear a group walk up behind you, and one of them is trying to talk to y'all. Do y'all turn around to deal with them as you were talking to a guard?
I will go. Oh, 1 second. I think there's somebody behind me. And then like turns around and is just kind of looking everywhere except like at the party.
We're
See, I'm
over
not
here.
having a
Can I get a description of Meg and Pothos now that y'all are turning around? The proper description.
Pothos first.
Jeff, if you're
Zap,
talking,
you're
you're muted.
muted.
I forgot I was muted.
I was wondering why Pothos wasn't saying anything.
Oh shit. I even said that he was turning around and that wasn't her. Anyway, yes, he turns around and you see a satyr with short-ish fluffy hair. It kind of like curves around his head with almost goat-like horns where they're just slick and go back fully. He's in very like sparkly garb almost underneath his leather armor, and he has a battle axe with him and a longbow on his back. But one thing you notice about him is that on his right side, he has some burn markings on his face and on his shoulders. And you would imagine they would go further down his arm, but he has fabric covering that one arm with the burn mark on it. And of course, he has fluffy little goat legs because, satyr. And he is 6'6".
He was a sailor boy. We said see you later, boy.
And then with Mig turning around, you will see 4 foot nothing. She seems to be wearing almost a toga-esque dress that has she's got a couple of like gold colored armbands and some bracelets. The snakes in her hair are also have those same gold colored like hoops around them. And she's like looking around, still not looking directly at the party. But those of you that eventually do like look up will notice her eyes are just completely white. There is no pupil. They are just white voids.
Mm-hmm.
Theo, Theo, will you? Where are they? I heard voices.
Theo's going to grab Meg by the chin, like very softly and tenderly, and just kind of move her to be looking straight at the group approaching. And you can also see that he has jewelry on as well, with a little goat tail and downward pointed goat ears with some feather earrings. I wanted to add that. Sorry. Go ahead.
Something that you immediately
yes.
notice as you're looking at this new party is Tortufu. Pickle is currently sniffing one of the snakes who is looking up. So Pickle is hovering over this woman. This woman can feel the hot breath from the Hydra breathing down on him as one of the snakes is just staring down this Hydra straight above them.
Are they within 10 feet of me at this point?
Oh yeah. They're only like 3 feet above you.
Oh, okay. You'll see. Oh, there you are. Well, hello, friend. And gives.
Yes. Hello.
Just yeah. I'll pat Pickle's head. Oh, you're scaly.
That's not any of us. That's our Hydra.
Oh. I don't think I've met a Hydra. Theo, have we run into a Hydra before?
If we did, he didn't have a lot of heads, so I assume not.
Fair enough. Wait, it has more than one head.
Yes, it has 3, to be exact.
Oh, I only have 2 hands. And I reach both of them up as I'm trying to pet as many as I can.
The other one comes and gets head pats. They are very excited. Tortufu, can I get a perception check?
You may.
By the way, Pothos will reach up over Meg to pet the third head that she cannot reach.
You don't need to, as the third head is currently trying to get in Tortufu's bag wanting more cabbage.
Oh, okay. Damn.
I noticed this.
Yes.
Sorry for
Pickles,
make.
come on. You're gonna spoil your appetite. I'm making stir-fried veggies tonight.
There's excited pickle noises as pickle noises just flops on their side.
Oh, and Tortufu immediately gives him the full body belly rub, just like rubbing his whole body against the belly.
excited pickle noises as the
Theo,
guards are
which one
watching
was
this squirming hydra.
Theo, which one was calling out to us?
The turtle man, and he'll kind of move Meg
Lizard.
to be looking toward. Oh, what? I
It
thought
was Gizzo, not
Tortufu.
It was-
Tortufu.
Oh,
Gizzo
apologies.
was
Sorry.
calling.
All right, then he will say lizard, lizard folk, and move Meg to be looking towards Gizzo.
Hello.
Oh,
You needed something?
hello! Oh no, just so exciting to see another reptilian-based humanoid on the road. Normally not too many of us, but first run into old friend Tortufu and his new friend who is Dragonborn, and now you Snake Lady, it is good day. Very excited.
Oh, I just had the realization. How many of you guys speak Draconic?
I do.
I do as
Okay.
I do.
Everything she is saying currently is in Draconic. Wren, do you speak Draconic?
I do not.
Okay,
Poor
then
Ren's
you
gonna
have
lift
no
behind.
idea what she's saying.
So what are you all doing here?
Oh, we were just talking to the guards.
You actually talk to guards? Easy to just sneak past them.
I heard that.
She tilts her head. Why would I need to sneak past them?
Why do you need to talk to them?
Because they have jobs that they wanted us to do. That's why we're here, right, Theo? We're supposed to be here for a job.
Above table, the
Yes.
player of Theo. Okay, Theo. Yes, we have a job to do here.
Sounds about right.
Oh, we are also here for jobs.
No, what are
Oh.
you here to do?
I don't know, just heard that there was work. Perhaps it's the same job and we are going to be best of friends.
By the way, for Ren's sake, Theo is speaking in common.
Okay.
Yeah. And Theo is the nickname of Pothos, my little satyr boy. So
So what is
Tortufu
Well,
will
it got
like.
quiet all of a sudden.
everybody talked at once? Tortufu, Gizzo, and then I was just asking what you're all doing, so I don't matter. So yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well, we should all go inside and see about this job. Perhaps the same. And then we go for drinks. Yes? Yes. I have decided. Let us go.
Oh, well, 1 second. The guards were supposed to tell us where to go.
Tortufu.
Tortufu like pulls his head off of Pickles' belly. Yeah, we got. Huh? Oh, sorry, I got lost. I got lost in the Hydra belly. We gotta let the guard lead us to where we gotta go.
Yeah, just going in through the door, up the tower, find the door with a fist on it.
Got it.
That's an odd thing to have on a door.
Sounds like a weird sex thing.
Jeez.
I'm not into those kinds of jobs.
Gizzo, I've missed your insanity.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I am completely normal. You see a fly goes past and his tongue will shoot out and grab it.
Tortufu will reach down and unstrap the saddle because I can't just leave the Hydra sitting around.
The Hydra can take the saddle when it goes.
Oh, it goes into the crystal with him?
Yep.
Oh, perfect. So Tortufu will just say whatever the activation word is that puts the Hydra back into its little idol.
I feel
Catch
like
'em
it's
all.
just Pickles now.
Pickles be gone, and it turns back into a little idol I put in one of my pouches. Well, I'm ready to go.
That smelled like magic.
It was. I didn't know magic had a smell. That Tortufu kind of sniffs around a little bit.
Pothos is going to turn to Meg and ask, "You want me to carry you up the stairs since we were going to do a lot of walking?"
I'll be okay, Theo. Cherry can help me. And she's going to put 2 fingers into her mouth and she's gonna whistle. She's going to call Cherry Blossom from wherever they're hiding.
You see they pop out a head out a window like 4 stories up.
I don't see shit.
Pothos does.
Cherry, how did you get up there?
They jump out the window.
Uh,
Oh dear God.
how heavy is Cherry?
Cherry's only a small creature.
They're
Okay,
a small
so
creature, but they don't have flight yet.
no, I was gonna say Pothos is going to catch Cherry. That's why I was double checking.
I mean, they have wings, don't they?
No.
Oh.
No,
I-
not
Yeah.
yet.
So, like I
later.
said, Pothos is going to catch Cherry.
Happy cherry noises. This
Hey.
cherry immediately tries to crawl over your shoulders, Pothos, to get on Meg's shoulders.
Pothos puts up no fight whatsoever.
Cherry
He
immediately
knows
crawls
Mr.
on
T.
crawls onto Meg's shoulders, plops their head down on Meg's head, and the snakes kind of wind around Cherry.
Okay, Cherry. Follow Theo.
Do we have to go all the way up there? Past the window?
What floor do we need to go to?
You'll see it on the way up.
Fair enough. And Tartufo will start climbing the stairs. No problem climbing the stairs.
Tortufu, I raise you. He's gonna scar your head.
If anyone's paying attention, they will hear Theo click his tongue at the guard's response in annoyance. Or is the term of phrase "suck your teeth"? I can't remember. Anyway,
Yeah,
the
it's,
noise of
it's,
annoying.
it's like, yeah, it's suck your teeth.
Okay.
Wren will go in, just cling to the railing. Don't know how far up they're going, but Fearbold stay on ground. She don't like height.
Fair.
Wren, you will actually see Pothos walk towards you and go, "I don't think we were introduced. I'm Pothos. Meg calls me Theo. What's your name?"
Wren, Whisperwood. Pleasure.
"Pleasure to meet you. By the way, what languages can you speak?"
Oh, that's a very forward question. I speak, common, Elvish. Let me check. What else I know?
Y'all hear a sad whine in the background as y'all are talking. As Daisy
Common Elvish and
turns,
Shine.
Daisy turns into their
As-
totem in the background.
Oh no. But speaking that Meg's right there is going to switch to Elvish and go, "Oh, good. Okay. I can speak that one.
Oh, good, good, good.
Apologies. The common tongue does not translate well with my vocal cords."
No worries at all. No worries at all. Here, Ren will reach out a hand for you and kind of. I think she would notice that you're blind at this point. Will guide your hand over to touch hers.
But yeah, once you get within you'll notice that she starts tracking your hand the moment it's within 10 feet of her, and she'll grab it and she'll. Basically, what she's doing is trying to commit you to memory.
Very large hand, covered in this fuzz.
There's an argument going on between Cherry and Pip on y'all's heads.
What did I say about meeting new people?
And the
No,
snakes
there's
have joined in with Cherry, so Pip's getting ganged up on.
no.
Y-
That's what become a turf war.
Meg is going to pat at her hair and go, and is just going to hiss at them, in which nobody fucking understands. But is basically telling them to behave.
I'm sorry. Pip does what he wants to do.
Uh, the snake, switching back to Elvish, the snakes have a mind of their own. We should probably follow your friends. They're already they're already farther than 10 feet, so I'm not exactly sure where they went.
Ren will go
Uh,
ahead.
You going ahead?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna put a hand on Theo's back and go, okay, we're ready to go.
And Theo will follow up the rest of the group.
Did Mempash
I
head
will.
up?
I will. Sorry.
Wait, what was that?
Did Mempash head up? I know we put Daisy up, but I haven't heard what he did after that.
Yeah, he was following.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure we weren't missing anybody. As you hear crashing of Tortufu and Tortufu and Gizzo racing up the stairs up away.
Yep.
Tortufu and Wren, can I get acrobatics checks from both of you?
Acrobatics. Okay.
Not Wren, Gizzo, sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's
I'm
not
gonna use
on
a
you,
hero
Ollie.
point
They said
because I
your
want to
name.
win. I'm gonna use a hero point because I want to
Terrible.
win. 14.
Why do you have advantage?
I said I was gonna use a hero point because I want to
Okay.
win.
Okay, yeah. As Tortufu, Gizzo, you're doing better. You're doing great until Tortufu catches you by the tail and pulls you back and gets up in front of you and takes up the whole freaking staircase.
Son of a bitch.
So he ends
Yeah.
up beating you by being a
Can I-
circle.
Can I, like, right as he gets to the top, can I just try and trip him so he goes face first into the staircase?
You wouldn't be able to get past the shell, which is the issue. If you can get up
Yeah,
next
I
to
wanna
him or in front of him, you could, but you can't currently.
I want to
get
grab
into
his feet by the
things.
back.
You can try. Roll me athletics.
Ugh, even worse.
Athletics.
I'm gonna
for
roll
Tortufu.
athletics too because as soon as he grabs me, a 9,
So
but I still
9.
beat it.
Yep. So you managed to keep walking. It's hard to
I
get
just
around
keep
the giant
walking.
shell.
I was hoping it'll be like
Oh,
he grabs me, but I don't even stop. He just starts getting dragged behind me.
I mean, he would, but Tortufu, as you'll get up, it's about the 5th floor. You see something that you immediately recognize. There is a copper fist surrounded in a circle on the door. It looks tarnished and damaged, but it's still there. You immediately recognize this as the mark of a flaming fist.
Tortufu will immediately get a little defensive because last time he dealt with the flaming fist, it didn't go well.
Can I get a history check, Tortufu? Mempash, you can also roll this.
12. Because I'm thinking back when the flaming fist, was being corrupted from the within.
Yep.
Oh, I had a
Mempash?
flask of oil. I could have
It
poured
did
that on your
not.
feet.
It didn't go through. Hold on. There we go.
So neat. Tortufu, as you're looking this, you remember some of the stuff that you heard on your way out, rumors that were coming out of Baldur's Gate. You actually remember hearing a story about Zaj in those final hours. It said Zaj, some kind of bronze or a bronze dragonborn, and what looked like a man sheathed in gold took on what some people have said to be Azrael themselves coming through the portal.
So the flaming fist might be okay right now.
You have no idea, but you did. Zaj definitely didn't make it out, but there were rumors that they were at the heart of the fight,
Okay.
along with
So
somebody that you think might have been Alaric, or not Alaric, Aldrich, the Dragonborn friend y'all had, and probably Dio.
got it. So as soon as I see the door and I recognize the symbol as the Flaming Fist, Tortufu will stop at the door, fix himself up a little bit because I'm sure he got a little disheveled up the running up the stairs, and knock on the door.
Come in.
I will open it and walk in.
As you walk in, you're the first one. The rest of the party's coming up behind you. You see, it looks like a relatively simple office with a large table off to the side, in which there's a large chair, the back's facing you, but standing next to it, you see a familiar face. It is Leon, the red-headed flaming fist spy that got you out of Baldur's Gate the very first time. The one that was starting to get you on jobs about things going wrong within the family. The Flaming Fist.
Leon, it's good to see you.
Tortufu, good. Who thought you would still be wandering about? Good to see you got my message.
It's good to see you're. It's good to see you're still alive. I haven't heard anything about you since we got out of Baldur's Gate.
Well, it was quite rough getting out. Where's the rest of your group?
Well, Tortufu turns back to the door. Wren and Mempash are still climbing the stairs. This is Gizzo. He's one of my old friends from back in the day.
Hello.
That's what I heard. That's why he was picked for this job.
Seoza and Veltari. I haven't heard much about them in a while. We kind of went our separate ways after getting out of the city.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's at this point the rest of the party is starting to file in. All of you see, well, most of y'all see, a tall, red-headed man with a nice, simple vest and trousers and a long blue coat. You can see there is, well, that strange firing mechanism still belted at his hip. Those that have not seen Leon in the past. This is our boy Leon. Well, seems like everybody made it. Good. Why don't you join me around the table?
Tortufu will head right over.
Pothos will lead Meg to a seat and pull it out for her, and then once she's seated, sit down next to her.
Switching back to Draconic. Thank you, dear.
He'll nod, and then he's actually going to lean back in his chair and put up his hooven feet on top of the desk and cross it over, and just basically that very like oh, I can't even think of it, but like the smug lean in a chair kind of position.
Oh God, are you leaning back and putting your hooves up on the table?
I said I did that.
So you're putting your hooves up on the mat?
Oh, there's not a table? Oh.
Yeah, there's a table with a map on it.
Oh, yes. Until he sees the map, and then he immediately goes, oh shit, and like sits properly.
Tortufu will immediately start studying the map.
Mempash, what are you doing as you come around that chair to look around at the map in front of you, seeing the familiar face in Leon?
Give him a curt little nod, like, hello,
He nods
what's
back.
the job?
As you're looking, Mempash, as you nod, You see what Tortufu missed. Because you see who's sitting in the chair that had its back to you. Mempash, you feel your blood go cold.
It's
No.
Molly.
As you
No.
see a young 10-year-old with brilliant white hair. But this time she looks very different than when she did last. It still seems to be the young girl Molly, but instead of the fine clothes she wore before, she is wearing black leathers and has blades belted at her hip. She also isn't wearing the innocent looking face. This is a far more serious version of the young girl you knew.
Well, I greet her as like, I'm glad to see you made it, Molly.
Of course I made
As,
it.
soo- as soon as you say the name, Tortufu jumps. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you. Hi, Molly. How you been?
Hello, Tortufu. I think it's time we set to business. Too much has gone wrong and we're on a bit of a timetable.
Right.
We can catch up once you've returned. But people's life hang in the balance, and I imagine you want to get to work.
I'm always down for work. What do you got for us?
You're familiar with the smoke line?
I should say so.
We're starting an Operation Iron Ember. A group has been trapped within the city, what remains of the city of Burdusk. We need to send out a team to retrieve them and escort them back here to the towers. Last reports put them having recovered at least 14 other civilians, but during their time moving south, it seems something caught wind of them, and they had to bunker down within the city of Burdusk. Now we're going to be looking for a pair of adventurers. Their names are Kaelin Virelia and Silvara Virelia. A mage and a knight.
Oh, are they siblings?
Twins.
Oh, perfect. Then they should have a relatively similar scent.
It's going to be a rather simple job, at least as much as going into the past the smoke line ever is. But your job is to get in and get out of as many people as you can. There is a secondary objective, however. The sister, Silvara, seems to have found something when she was up in the north. Something she's called a soul anchor. She says it helps to stabilize the area in which it is in, and it may be very helpful in holding the smoke line.
So rescue the people, and if it's possible, get this soul anchor to you.
Indeed.
Out of curiosity, when was the last time they reported in? Was it how long ago?
About a week ago.
A lot could happen over the smoke line in a week. Are we sure they're still alive?
No, but that's why we're sending you in. We need to move as quick as we can, and we need to send you as quick as we can. It's going to be at least a week, and that's traveling quickly. You're not going to have that luxury. I expect a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks before you arrive in Burdusk.
Does Molly know? Who am I kidding? Of course they know about pickles and our mounts. But I don't know. Out of character, I can't remember. You said, did they say where exactly they are holed up in the city?
They have not.
Do we know where they're holed up in the city? It'll make searching for them a little easier.
We can't be certain, but we believe they've gone to an old cathedral in the Temple District. It's probably the most defensible, and the gods left magics they may be able to use it as defense.
Is this a map of the temple? Is this map we're looking at a map of the temple district, or just a map of the city in general? Or what kind of map is this actually?
This is a area map. One of the southern Sword Coast.
Okay, so it doesn't show specifically the city itself.
No.
Do we have a map of the city?
Not in its current state. We have an older version, but with as much as gone down in the last year, we have no idea what's still standing and what road marks could be still in place. Effectively, what you need to do is make it towards the center of the city.
Center of the city. All right.
You'll also need to travel carefully on the other side of the smoke line. Go too quickly or be too loud, you're going to bring devils down upon you, and they're going to try to drag you into the blood war. This is not something we want, and it's not something you want. We've marked several places along the route we believe may be used to bunker down, so you'll be able to get sleep and at least stay safe. There's also the issue of the inclement weather. It's gotten dire since we left.
Oh, I'm no stranger to bad storms.
Not these kind. Burning winds, acidic rains, and there's even echoes from the war itself that disorient people. It's quite... It's not safe at all.
Can you provide anything in terms of protection in the magical sense for these kinds of things, or are we on our own with that?
You're on your own. My best advice is to make it to a safe area before nightfall. Try to stay in there, judge the weather before moving on. Move safely, not quickly. We want you there quick, but you getting there is more important.
Understood.
If it comes down to it, your primary objective is saving the twins and the soul anchor. If we can save the civilians, that's good. But at the end of the day, the twins and that soul anchor will make more of a difference here.
Understood.
Okay, I hate to be that guy, but what is the payment for the job?
The young 10-year-old girl is going to put a contract down in front of you. Phothos, would you be able to read this for Meg?
He will nod his head and get to work reading it and translating it to Meg.
Mission-
Switching to Draconic, Meg will just offhandedly go, "We really need to teach more people Braille."
Theo will respond in kind and common. You still need to teach that to me as well.
She'll nod.
You are given the contract for Operation Iron Ember. Mission contract Operation Iron Ember. Issued by Leon of the Ember Line, former Flaming Fist operative. Molly, proprietor of the Pale Ledger, independent broker of secrets. Date issued the 5th month of the 12th day of the year of Smoke and Screams. Location, Safe House 4, Northern Amen, near the Cloud Peaks. Contract terms: to the brave and willing, you are hereby contracted to enter Burdesk, a zone overrun with the infernal forces following the fall of Baldur's Gate. Your mission is to locate and extract 2 missing adventurers, known collectively as the Virilia twins, and assist in the evacuation of refugees previously housed near the orphanage of the Temporal District. These adventurers reportedly secured the survival of 14 commoners. They are now trapped and in hiding with twins amid the rubble. The current state of the city is unstable, with devil patrols infernal weather patterns and anomalies spreading from the city center itself. Your objectives. Primary objectives are locate and safely extract the Varel twins, Silvaria, and that's not his name, Kalen. Escort as many of the 14 surviving civilians out of Burdock as quickly as possible. Secondary, recover the soul anchor, if found. It was last seen in the hands of one of the twins near High Market. Your compensation is as thus. You will be giving 150 gold per operative upon accepting the job. Upon return, you will be given 25 gold per civilian rescued, 200 gold total for the return of both of the twins, 100 if only one of them makes it back, and none if neither do. If the soul anchor is safely recovered intact and returned to Leon and Molly, you will be awarded an additional 300 gold. Disclaimers. This contract does not guarantee survival. Neither Leon or Molly can claim liability for infernal interactions beyond the contract scope. If party members are captured, compensation may be withheld unless a substitute of proof of mission is provided. Unauthorized use of the soul anchored is forbidden. Interference may attract infernal retribution. Sign below to confirm acceptance.
Hey, all is good to be. He's gonna scribble down his name in barely legible handwriting.
Well, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Pothos is gonna look towards Meg. If they agree, then he will agree, but
Sounds like people need our help. Hand me a pen.
Theo will hand Meg a pen. And once she's done signing, he will sign right after.
Just out of curiosity, I see here where it says 150 gold per operative. The other payments, are they also per operative, or is it to be split amongst all operatives?
Split amongst you.
Understood.
And Tortufu will sign his name.
Tortufu, you can write. I forgot.
Well, yeah, you and Mempash helped teach me. Remember?
Sorry, all of this stuff makes it hard to remember things.
Surprised you can hold pen in such fat fingers.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised you could write straight with all the cigarettes you smoke.
You look at my handwriting. I don't know if I can.
It is a little lopsided.
Wren will sign.
Mempash follows.
Alrighty. I'll give as many people as we can get to sign in for now. You are now members of our Operation Iron Ember. As Leon is going to take several pouches of gold out and hand one to each of you. As you each have been given 150 gold.
Yippee!
This is the first time I've been to the Twin Towers here, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
Well,
no, you came through it. But
is there a place we can supply up for the trip?
down
for
at the
the
bottom,
mission?
there is some things you'll be able to pick up. We can't give it to you for free, unfortunately, but this should help cover some of the cost.
Sounds good. We still have a good amount of money left over from our time in Baldur's Gate.
Good. Are there any questions? Oh, one more thing. Before I've forgotten, there's something you need to see. Tortufu, Mempash, if you'd step forward.
Well, that sounds ominous.
Teacher's
Okay.
pet.
You see Molly is going to reach out and tap the crystal as you see very disjointed, everybody sees very disjointed images start to appear in the air. You see the first one that appears seems to be a human woman with kind of olive skin, but it's gone very pale, and silvery blonde hair. She seems to be wearing robes. This is Selvara. She's a necromancer, so don't attack her summons. They have enough going down on them already.
Tortufu will kind of like nudge Gizmo. See, those are robes.
Yeah, and mine look exactly like that.
Ugh.
She then fast forward it a little further before pulling up another individual. This one, a darker skinned boy that looks similar to the first girl, as they both have these bright purple eyes and the same kind of colored silvery blonde hair. But this one is wearing armor undercut by a lot of blues, and he has a glaive in his hand. This is her brother Kalen. These are the two you need to rescue and assist them in recovering the civilians. There is one other individual of note that I think you'll want to keep an eye out for. As she scrolls through, it seems the twins are in the middle of some kind of attack, trying to move civilians through the city, and Molly pauses it and zooms in on one individual just as they pass under Kalen's arm. It seems to be a young individual. You see this flyaway blonde hair slightly pulled up in what looks to be some kind of goggles.
Holy shit! Mempash, it's Brooke!
She survived.
She survived! Good on you, you ball-busting little inventive girl!
She's alive for
We'll
now,
keep her working.
or at least she was a week ago. If they are not pulled out, I can't guarantee that it's going to continue. Hopefully, that puts a little fire in your belly and gets you moving.
Damn, Skippy, I'm ready to go.
Get to know your team before you go running off beyond the smoke line.
I'm sure. I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about while we're shopping.
Indeed. Oh, and one last thing. You'll have allies out there in the field. There are two individuals waiting on the other side of the cloud peaks waiting for you.
Oh?
Indeed.
Is there gonna be anyone we know, or like...
Well, I believe you know Arthur already.
Oh, and where there's Arthur, I'm assuming the Naveen's with him.
Indeed. They'll be waiting for you on the other side of the cloud peaks. They're just coming back from a scouting mission near Baldur's Gate.
Tortuga visibly shivers when Baldur's Gate is mentioned.
Are there any further questions?
Above table, do we know exactly what a soul anchor is?
Nope.
Can Wren make an arcana check?
It would not be something you would be familiar.
Okay.
Meg has a couple.
You can ask them.
You said, yeah. You said that the girl was a necromancer?
Yes, Silvara is.
Okay. And the boy, he's what kind of fighter?
An arcane knight.
Okay. any idea on who the missing civilians are that they rescued besides this brook that they know?
No,
Do we know?
unfortunately not.
All right. Um, I guess my next question would be uh, I guess more aimed towards Tartufu. Uh, as you were being told that you know these allies that we're meeting, what are they like? What do they do? I guess.
Well, Arthur's a paladin. He he's
Cleric.
really hmm?
Cleric.
Oh, I thought Arthur was a paladin.
No, he's a war
No, he's been a
priest.
cleric yeah, he's been a cleric this entire time.
Oh,
I
I'm
thought he
sorry.
was a paladin too.
Yeah, but
Arthur's a cleric. He's really handy with a sword and he's really great at blinding things. So he'll be really useful. Naveen is a monk, and don't get on her bad side, or she will break something.
It sounds like she needs some meditation.
I'm pretty sure she meditates on how to break things better.
Interesting. I'd like to ask her about that.
I also have a question, if you don't mind. What is a soul anchor exactly?
We're
Oh,
uncertain of its origins, but we believe it has the power to help stabilize an area and stop portals ripping open from Avernus. As
I
for
see.
how it does it, why it does it, or where it's come from, we have no idea. That's just the report we've gotten from Silvara.
Understood.
The thing sounds ominous, but if it'll help, then we'll bring it back.
This also says not to use it without authorization. Is there any way that is there anything you can tell us to not do with it so that we don't accidentally set it off? Like, does it need to be kept in something?
I don't know. If Silvara is still alive, you'll need to ask her.
What does the soul anchor look like? That way we can keep an eye out for it.
It seems to be some kind of black swirling orb.
Do
Oh,
we
that's
have
not
a
ominous.
yeah,
Like a
do
smoky
we
crystal ball?
or like
You
a chunk of obsidian?
She starts looking through the recording, see if she can get a good shot at it. It is a dark orb. As she pulls it up, as you see this black orb that's almost blue, that has a lot of swirling patterns along the edges of it. You can see it exactly in Discord.
Oh, that looks very similar to an orb of annihilation. We're going to want to make sure that we're careful with touching it, on the off chance that we find the wrong thing.
Indeed. My honest advice, if you can manage to keep Silvara alive, leave it with her.
Understood.
But if
Noted.
she's already dead, try to recover it.
checking the map, Tortufu will kind of trace out the path there.
Exactly. You mentioned that we should be very quiet as as quiet as possible while traveling. How far up down the road can we go while using our mounts?
Once you get over the smoke line, I wouldn't advise using them. They're too large and they're going to draw attention. Especially the one you call Pickle.
Yeah, he definitely draws the eye.
Don't worry, I can help us stay quiet.
I'm not exactly good at being quiet.
You don't need to be super stealthy, you just need to move slow and careful. Keep things at a distance if you can. You should be able to meet up with Arthur and Naveen in what remains of Nashkel. Then you'll take the Uldon Trail over towards what remains of Green Nest, and then push on to Verdusk.
Right.
Look,
It's a
guys,
shame
we
the green
totally
nest
got
fell.
this.
Hmm.
What did you say, Meg?
Oh, that it was a shame that green nest fell.
Indeed. After everything it went
It,
through in the Dragon War, it's a shame that it got attacked again.
Agreed. That being said, if we're going to, I'd say during the evening times, though, it might be prudent for, Theo, do you think you could help me? It's gonna take a while, and we'll probably, well, I would hope we'd be done with this mission by then. But we should probably teach the others how to speak in sign.
Theo will nod his head and uh say that would probably be fair. Well, at least we know languages we all can speak. It'd still be good to have that as an alternative if need be.
Does everyone speak Elvish?
No.
Theo's going to turn to Meg and go, "You know I don't."
I know you don't, but I can sign and speak in another language at the same time for you.
I speak Common, Draconic, Giant, and Infernal.
Does everyone speak Infernal?
No.
I do.
No. Okay. So it would appear that Draconic seems to be the base language that we all speak, minus Wren. So I'll just switch to Elvish when needed. Um.
Yeah, you,
Yep. Yep. I will be teaching you guys how to do Common Sign Language because at the very least, at least with a couple of signs, we'll be able to communicate relatively quickly.
if Ren's been traveling with Mempash and Tortufu for this entire year, wouldn't it have kind of made sense that they were able to pick up some Draconic?
Do y'all speak Draconic normally?
I think me and Mempash speak like pretty often enough.
That's fine if he wants to.
Yeah, if I can learn Draconic, I will.
Yeah, go ahead and take it from those two.
Cool.
Cool, then everyone knows Draconic.
Oh, thank God.
And even
I
with
will
that, like,
still be I will still be teaching you guys how to speak sign because that's really good for us being quiet.
Mhm.
You're
I think
looking.
and with
portals have only 3 fingers, don't they? Or can turtles sign? I
To a
don't know. If
degree.
turtles can sign.
To
It's
a
not
degree.
always
We'll
fingers,
figure it
but
out.
you'll
Yeah.
be learning Faerun sign language, which accounts for all the weird races.
Got
Yeah.
it.
You're
Well,
looking at about a job about 360 miles. On an average day, it'd take you about 12 days to get there. I'd expect maybe 15 if you slow down a little bit. If you slow down too far, it might take too long. I'd aim to get there in 12 to 16 days.
Okay.
You'll then need to make it back. You'll most likely be moving slower at that point, so expect 24 to 30 on the return trip.
Ah. Well, that's plenty of time to teach you guys how to sign.
I would also advise picking up any kind of rations you may need, extra arrows if they're needed, any kind of gear you'll need here, as it's not certain you'll be able to find it once you go past the Cloud Peaks.
I'm not the best cook, but I mean,
I can cook.
oh, well,
I'm
that's good.
I've gotten very good at cooking.
Oh, well, that's
Cooking
good. I
isn't
do
the
have good.
problem. If you don't have the resources, it won't matter. You won't be able to find game out there.
I got a
Okay.
lot of dried meat.
Make
I've
sure
got
you have enough.
about about 10 days of prepped rations, and then I've got about, well, if it was for one person, it would be about 60 days worth of meat. That's uh in the chest of preserving. It won't last nearly as long. But worst case scenario, I do know good berry.
So do I, if need be. Do you know if there'll be any, mentioning berries, any forageables in that sense of like herbs and stuff?
Unlikely. Past the smoke line, things have gotten. Well, they're starting to turn it into Avernus itself.
Yeah, you don't want to eat hell berries. They give you the runs
Yeah.
like nothing else.
Another thing you may want to look into picking up is extra rations in case those surviving have run out. We don't need this. We don't know the state of how things are going in Bear Dusk. They may be running low on supplies, so bringing extra may be a good idea.
That's fair. I will need to pick up more arrows before we leave, definitely. Make sure I don't run out.
The store doesn't have any magical stuff. I could use a bag of holding if I'm going to be carrying a whole bunch of stuff.
You would know Wren has an infusion. It's not an actual bag of holding. It's just a replica of it.
Which works as one.
Yes.
Even still, I think bag of holding is what, 500 pounds?
I don't track it,
Yeah.
so it doesn't really matter.
Oh.
Just as long as you have
Well,
a bag of holding, you should be okay.
I have a bag of holding.
Oh. Then in that case, Ren would probably just have like all our kitchen stuff.
Yeah,
With
probably.
me and Ren probably cook together. If Ren cooks and I cook.
Yeah,
You'll
I've
also
cooked.
want to bring water.
Oh, plenty.
Waters, I was going to say, you said we have a cleric joining the party. We should still grab some, but at the very least, they should probably have create or destroy water prepped.
Hey, mine.
Theo will
I'll take care of
nudge Meg and say, I can prep that too, if need be.
Yes. Oh, I do believe I hear a cat getting into trouble.
The reason I bring this up is even if you do have a cleric, there's always the chance that you lose them. You're going into a very dangerous place. Stay safe and be prepared for failsafes.
It's good to get all the material, but it's also good to know that we have these backup spells in case we need them.
So,
Are there any further questions for both me or Leon?
I don't know if it was answered or not. The question about magical items.
They have some, but not many.
Okay.
The bags of holding, they do not.
Alright, let's go check out what they have, and we can make an informed decision from there.
Sounds good.
Does Theo happen to know which way is to these stores that they're referencing?
Just down on the bottom floor.
Okay.
We will do all the purchasing and whatnot afterwards. So, what is the party up to as they are doing their shopping?
I would like to send because this whole time I have not been looking at Meg. I'm gonna send her a little, because I'm a little embarrassed, a little one-way communication in her brain, asking if I can actually look at her without getting frozen.
oh, Meg will. Theo, will you point me in the direction of the Dragonborn?
Theo will do as asked.
She's going to when she gets in the right position, is gonna walk up and pat your hand and go, "Oh dear, no, I don't have the powers of a full-blown Medusa. I am too small.
Okay,
I
sorry
am
about
more
that.
akin to what you call a Yanti."
Ugh.
Okay, sorry. Yes. Okay, thank you. Just curious. He slowly looks at her now and can see that she's actually blind. So, oh yeah.
She's
Okay.
just little She is quote unquote looking you in the eye.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. And that's sort of
And
not
yeah,
slink away, but
yeah. Another thing that Mempash will notice that as he's looking in her eye is that it's not her demeanor has been very so much cute, no thoughts. You look in her eyes, there are so many thoughts. So many thoughts that you don't understand how she's thinking them all.
It must be with the snake brains.
I'm stunned. Okay.
There
Thank
is
you.
another problem, Mempash. One of the
Yes.
snakes has found a lemon,
Yummin.
and it is curled around it.
A lemon?
A lemon.
Meg, one of your hair has a limit. Should I grab that?
She kind of tilts her head and goes, Jeffrey, you know you don't like lemons.
He bites into the lemon.
She crinkles her nose as she gets the taste of lemons in her mouth. Let me rephrase that, Jeffrey. You know that I don't like when you bite into lemons. Oh,
As all of the snakes start to slither and squirm, all able to taste the lemon, as none of them look happy about it.
Jeffrey's
As
going through his rebellious teenage years.
Jeffrey the hair snake looks like he has been offended by this not orange. He really wishes he could see colors.
Jeffrey, you know you're colorblind. You're supposed to ask Theo. I'm gonna take the lemon from him and. Theo, is there an orange nearby?
Theo's going to look around.
There is an orange. It's
there is-
right on the plate next to where he got the lemon.
If there's
Theo's
any other
going-
fruit on that, sorry, you go.
No, Theo's just gonna hold up the orange and go. This is gonna be hilarious, but he's actually gonna take the great axe or battle axe off of his back and cut the orange in half using it, and then hand half of it, the orange, to Jeffrey was the snake's name?
Jeffrey the
Yeah,
snake.
Jeffrey.
Yep, Jeffrey.
About 5 snakes bite into it.
Okay, that's much better. Thank you, dear.
He will nod his head as he starts to eat the other half of the orange.
Does someone want a lemon?
Oh, I would love a lemon.
Oh, here you go.
Wren will
And
start.
goes to hand you the lemon, but assuming that you're not quite close enough, and so basically
Hand to
shoots
Gizzo
it out
instead.
yeah, Gizzo, and then go, oh wait a minute, and then turns and then actually hands it to Wren.
Wren will
Once you
take
get
it.
close enough.
Yeah. Wren will put it in a little preserve jar and place it in her bag.
Just gonna say, if there's fruits there, Gizzo's been peeling the skins off and eating them and leaving the inside of the fruit on the plate. Just eating the skins of them.
Fair.
Tortufu has been picking out various preserved foods, dried meats, or I guess not canned, bottled preserves, and handing them to Wren.
Need some of this, a little bit of this. Definitely some of these, and
Just hands you a whole sack full of apples.
Yep. Wren will bite one, hold it in her mouth, and take that. The rest of them go in the bag.
It's the Wren tax.
It is the Wren tax. She needs her apple.
Tortufu, Wren, you said you both can cook?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Do you think you could help teach me? I've got the basics, but it's not the same.
Oh, sure.
Thank you. Also, do you think that about 20 pounds of salt is going to be enough?
20 pounds.
Yes. I have a spice pouch as well. But I find that buying the salt not from the bag is much easier.
Wait, you have that? You have that too? The magical spice pouch?
Yes, it's good for the saffron. And a
Huh?
cinnamon stick. I do love the cinnamon sticks.
I like the mint.
There, you see that she just pulls out a cinnamon stick and starts just chewing on it.
But 20 pounds of salt. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Most of this food is preserved already in salt, so we won't need to salt anything too much.
Okay. And what was that, Theo dear?
Just he wasn't actually going to say anything. I was just going to say that after giving the orange to Jeffrey, he's going to go and try and. Oh wait, no, we already passed the shopping, weren't we?
I mean, you can still do things while you're in there. It's just we're not
Okay.
doing the shopping itself, so we don't waste people's time.
Okay. I was just going to say that he's going off and looking at random things.
While we're doing all this and they're buying food and such, can I just like scavenge around and try and pull insects out of whatever I can for my rations?
Yeah.
You want a survival check?
No. Insect wouldn't
I'm
be
just gonna
enough
get
quite for something your size. You wouldn't be able to get enough for proper rations, but you'd be able to get them for snacks.
Yeah, that's what he wants. He's making trail mix.
Oh, God, I'm going to Tortufu's going to warn everyone.
All right. Well, Gizzo's distracted. If he ever offers you any trail mix, do not eat it. It's bugs. It's just bugs.
Well, what kind of bugs? Because mealworms and crickets are actually quite good.
Whatever he can find. I don't think he cares.
I mean, the snakes like them just fine.
I'm
He
behind
looks at
Tortufu.
you and lizard.
Hey, I got some trail mix. Anybody want some? Bag is still
Oh
squirming.
yes.
There's this great dumpster over there full of them.
Logically speaking, I have snakes for hair. I'm part reptilian. Bugs would be food. Makes great trail mix.
This is
gonna
one of
take
the
a-
things. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say he just takes a long draw on his pipe, blows smoke out everywhere, then grabs a handful of beetles and eats them. Goes back to smoking. Oh, that's the stuff.
What was that, Theo?
Theo is just gonna be like, "This is one of the things I have learned to just not question anymore."
You say that a lot.
Tortufu looks over at Theo.
Are you a vegetarian?
No.
You got the whole goat thing going on, so I thought maybe you only ate veggies. Just want to
I'm-
make sure so I don't fuck around with your diet.
I do appreciate that, but I am a satyr, not necessarily a goat.
Wren kind of has that cow thing going on, so Wren is a vegetarian.
Mhm.
All right, let's go get shit faced.
I don't
Last
think we
time
have time for a drink, Gizzo.
Okay, one for the road then.
Do you
I
all
mean,
have tents?
I think we should buy them.
I'm pretty sure we still. I think we would still have like the tents and camping gear from when we went on to that trip on the mansion, but I don't think we have enough for everybody. I would think. I would assume we would have
Stuff
one
for
for
buying
Mempash.
later. We can go over all the buy and whatnot later.
Yeah.
Right.
But is there anything else you would like to do before y'all are heading y'all's way to the north through the cloudy peaks?
I don't think so.
So,
No, not really.
I will get uh I will get Cherry Blossom's harness so that she is my seeing eye dragon.
Fair enough.
That way Theo's hands are free.
That is completely fair. But as y'all are heading out, working y'all's way into the cloudy peaks, taking the winding road past the towers, there's something that feels off. A tickle at the back of one of y'all's scales. Mempash, you look around. Something feels off. And it's towards the tower your gaze is eventually drawn. The very tippy top of the left tower, where you see he has survived. The goose
I squint
is
my eye.
here as he looks down at you from atop the tower.
Please,
hear.
for the love of all things holy, CC, tell me they're on top of a goddamn gargoyle.
No, they're on the top of the tower itself, all the way at the tippy top, above the
Yeah, but there's
gardens.
like gargoyles on it, you know?
Yeah, pretty much. He's up there. And he's looking down.
Yes.
And Mempash, you may not be able to physically hear him, but you can tell there is a honk.
He feels the
And that,
rumble in his belly.
for tonight, is where we're going to leave it. Good job, you
The
guys.
honk
That was a
that
lot of
returns.
fun. Really looking forward to seeing how this game develops. And for those listening in, I thank you for joining us too. We have quite the adventure to go on. So we will see y'all next week. Peace.